was waiting for that. Hello again, everyone. My name is Richard Weil, and I'm the principal and owner of National Restaurant Consultants. And we welcome you again into our National Restaurant Consultants Helpful Moment, NRC Helpful Moment number 92. And as always, yeah, Brian, that's amazing. We're welcoming Mr. Brian Devine, our marketing with Top Line Management and Cafe Fuel. Brian, how are you today?
I am terrific. It's been one heck of a busy day, so I love those. How about
That's
yourself?
doing well. We're staying healthy. That's the main thing, and appreciate you as always. And our
Thanks.
vice president of NRC is Mr. Jared Flowers, live from Gilbert, Arizona. Jared, would you take it away from here, introduce our special guests, and moderate our program today? Thank you, Jared.
Absolutely. Thanks, Richard. Today is a real blessing for me. I get the opportunity to introduce to everyone who has been following us for all these many months to a great friend of mine, someone who I look up to, Chef W. Reith, owner and founder of Not Your Typical Deli here in Gilbert, Arizona. If I could, for just a moment, just give a little background of when I first met him. His wife had actually worked for me for a few years, and she had told me about their mission on employing autistic and special needs young adults. And I was just really blown away. And it's such a great message. But even beyond that, the food is just absolutely phenomenal. So this is a two-tiered interview today. The first thing I want to ask you about, W, is where you got the idea, and I know the answer, but for the folks out there, for the deli and just so much of what you do from a culinary standpoint, and then we'll get into the mission next.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. This means a lot. I really appreciate it. Jared, I feel the same towards you, man. I definitely look out for what you do in the restaurant industry, and I appreciate your kind words. So, to make us in a nutshell, about I'd say about 12 years ago, I met someone with autism. Now, autism, I learned I was really confused at first. I didn't know anything about it, and I did a little research and came to find out that it was really interesting to me. I then started doing cooking demonstrations and life skills classes for adults, young adults on the with special needs or on the spectrum. And I saw something that is lacking in a lot of restaurants. Now, you guys know as well as I do that one of the biggest keys to a successful restaurant is consistency. I'm sure no one out there will disagree with that. Now, being consistent and doing repetition is something that people with autism excel with. If you put a 50-pound bag of potatoes in front of somebody and asked to do a 1-inch dice cut, you want to better believe that there's going to be 1-inch dice cuts through that whole 50 pounds of potatoes. Consistency is key to our success. And those guys, I thought, wow, I can bring that. If I can bring that into the kitchen, I might be pretty successful in the restaurant. So after I worked in some schools for a year with culinary arts training, and finally decided, look, there's an 85% national unemployment rate for adults with developmental disabilities, and in my state of Arizona, there's a 90% rate, and that's just not acceptable to me. So I figured, why don't we open up a restaurant? We can train adults with developmental disabilities, and let's see what happens. And the rest is history. We opened up in 2016 in a little shop. It was, flying by the seat of our pants, had no idea what to expect. Jared, you were there since day one, you started coming in there. And it grew into us creating a culture. My wife and I are both chefs, so we knew the importance of having amazing food. Amazing food is going to help push the mission even further. I like to call it true awareness, meaning if a customer comes into our restaurant just because they heard good reviews on the food and have no idea what our mission is, I can then educate them on special needs or autism or what have you, and they could see it working right in front of their faces. Most people are blown away when they find out our mission, what our mission is, when they're sitting down with a mouthful of sandwich. It's pretty interesting. So I feel very blessed to be able to, you know, have this restaurant and to, have these employees. And I can't even tell you how proud I've been over the past 4 years and how many accolades these guys have won for this restaurant. We have a lot of local awards. We got a lot of Yelp awards, best in the country awards through Yelp, what have you, but I take no credit for that. I'm just the coach. I open the door. These guys have to keep the door open, and it's because of them that we are successful, and I couldn't be any happier about it.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I have to be honest. The chocolate chip cookie, I think, has won more national cookie awards. Um, your grandmother's recipes, your grandmother's old mixers that are hanging on the wall in the restaurant. Best pastrami sandwich in the country, I think, at some point. Um, you think of all the restaurants in Phoenix, Arizona, and you know that we're saturated out here. And he has an employee, Cordell, that I believe 2 years running won the best server through the Phoenix New Times in the entire city of Phoenix and metro area. So they're doing something there. Richard, you and I have talked about this at ad nauseum. There's so much to be said about culture and leadership. And I think, W, what you're doing with those kids and with the mission and with just how you're training them to have life skills outside of the restaurant is something that just blows my mind. And so very blessed to know you.
I appreciate that very much. And I say, just to touch on it, it's like I wanted to create the culture. I wanted to break the stigma that people have of special needs in the industry or in the community for that matter. I wanted to create a platform so that any individual, regardless of diagnosis or special needs or not, has a chance to better their lives and create independence for themselves. And I think as a business owner, we have a really special place in the community to where we could use our business as a vehicle to help people change their lives. And that's what I embrace, and that's why I bring my family recipes. I created a culture with my family, my old school sense of being, and hard work. And it's just, I don't know, I could talk all day about it. I'm going in circles right now, but I'm super proud of what we've accomplished here. And I'm really thrilled to be able to talk to other restaurateurs and people in the business about it, because I think it's a really important thing. You can I was very unfulfilled in this business for I've been doing this for, oh gosh, I was 12 years old when I started, so a little over 30 years I've been in the industry. And the past 6 years have been the most fulfilling times of my life, because we're changing people's lives. We're using food, which we love, to change people's lives. And it's I don't know, it chokes me up. I'm a giant 300-pound, 6'2" guy. These guys choke me up. I'll tell you, every time I think about it, I get teary eyed. It's funny. I shouldn't have admitted that. Now, my toughness factor just went down a little bit, but that's okay.
Well, I don't want to run too over on time. One thing I did want to say is Not Your Typical Deli is located at Gilbert and Warner in Gilbert, Arizona. We'll be able to go on our website, Richard. I think we'll be able to put a link up to be able to get a hold of Chef W. For all of our national partners and industry friends. If you have questions about people on the spectrum or how to teach and coach and really just include everyone. We've talked about being better together through this whole pandemic. I don't think that stops at people that don't have developmental disabilities. I think we need to be all better together. So we want to be able to put up a link and share that with you guys. And Chef W, again, thank you so much. Richard, thank you for allowing me to moderate this. And let's keep being better.
I'll throw it to Brian. And then one quick thing is, Chef, before I throw it over to Brian, just on any quick marketing piece, how do you all network to find some of the folks who have special needs? What do you do in terms of attracting these folks to you and helping them?
I'll tell you what, it's a grassroots movement, really. The word gets out, and you'd be surprised, they come out of the woodwork, because there's not many opportunities for these guys.
Okay.
I literally have, without exaggeration, over 300 applications on my desk. It's a huge thing. And say this is a grassroots movement. And so really, it's a civil rights movement for equal rights in the workforce and creating socially conscious work environments. Inclusion.
That's right. That's what this industry needs to continue to push, is for inclusiveness and to take the great divide away in not just the restaurant and food service business, but in society as well. So you should be absolutely commended, Chef, and I can't thank you enough for being on. Brian, a couple quick thoughts.
Yeah, I want to ask Chef W, what is there some marketing that you're doing that's really working, or is there any marketing that you've been thinking about that maybe I can help you with right now? Because I love this mission. I want to be helpful here.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. That's maybe a question I'd have to think about a little bit. Like I said, we base ourselves on old school service and grassroots movements. Every customer who comes in here, I ask how their grandma's doing, ask how their wives, ask how their kids are. We really connect with our customers, and I think that overall is lacking in this industry, honestly. You know, I want to have that good place that people can come in. I know your name and ask how your kids are doing. I think that's important. So that's another way we really put it out there, and word spreads. Jared knows.
I spread it a lot for you, Ken.
We just had an individual ask a question of how they can connect with you, Chef. Gentleman by the name of Michael Brown. So I'm going to, after we're done, I'll, if it's okay, can I give him your email address?
Yes, sir. I would appreciate that. And gosh, thank you for reaching out. That's
Okay.
awesome.
Thank you, Michael, for reaching out while we're doing this. And that's really what we have for today. I think this is going to be one of the most popular viewed videos or NRC Helpful Moments we may have ever done. We're going to be posting this to LinkedIn and a few spots, as well as pushing it onto our Facebook, of course, and then our web, and as well as our website. So Jared, as always, Brian, please, Chef.
I tell you what, honestly, what you guys are doing right here, Jared, I love you, man. You know that. Giving the opportunity to speak like this is going to help a lot of people out. And I hope, and I just want to know how much I appreciate you guys giving me this time. And it does a world of good. And you guys, I commend you for making the time and taking the effort to do this. It's amazing. Thank you.
Well, I think this would be short and simple, but God bless you, Chef, for everything you're doing, because your heart and your soul, you and your wife and everybody should be so deservingly taken care of in terms of all of our thoughts and prayers for the mission that you have. And Jared, can't thank you enough for bringing it to us today. Everybody, that's what we have. I think that's it for now. So long, everybody. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye for now, everyone.